everybody, and today I'm going to be talking about the DOGFACE Retreat and giving you a bit more depth and background to my thinking behind the building of this retreat, the location, the concept, and what's going to happen behind it. So let's get started. Now, the DOGFACE Retreat will be funded by the DOGFACE Charitable Trust, okay, which we have established here in New Zealand. There is a potential or a likelihood that we will set up a 501c3 uh, if required, okay, as well in the United States to get this retreat going. But we'll see how that goes when we speak to the lawyers, okay? But let me explain a little bit further. The DOGFACE Charitable Trust has been established to support veterans causes through the power of NFT sales. And I would also add and revenue streams. Our mission is to provide funding to organizations that serve and support our veterans, including our chosen charity partners, Peaceful Pastures Ranch, and Soldier Sailor Airmen Association of New Zealand. Okay, and we've donated some crypto to those entities. By investing in our NFTs, members not only gain access to exclusive and unique experiences within our ecosystem, but also have a satisfaction of knowing that a portion of their investment is going towards making a difference in the lives of those who have served our country. Join us in our mission to give back to those who have given so much to us through the innovative and impactful world of NFTs. Okay, so we're utilizing NFTs, leveraging NFTs to get this done. The DOGFACE Charitable Trust is also responsible for funding the DOGFACE Retreat, a space dedicated to helping veterans heal and connect with one another. Through the sale of our crypto mining NFTs, we project to raise $2.5 million over the next 5 years for the retreat and services. In addition to NFT sales, we will also be seeking funding through currently available grants. We will also acquire the required accreditations to provide services to veterans and first responders. Our goal is to create a supportive and inclusive community for veterans and provide them with resources and care they deserve. So this is the concept, and we're actively moving every day. We're getting a step closer to this becoming a reality, right? Where we're at in the roadmap as far as this goes is we're at the stage where we have our charity partners. We've donated some funds to them, and now we're into our third collection. Within the third collection, we are selling NFTs. We've purchased miners. Those miners are being put into a facility. We've got approximately 42 miners on currently online. Okay, and there's some mining going on as a cooperative and a DAO. All right, and then there's also a portion for the veteran aspect to it. So it's a very, very interesting case study and interesting model where we're not saying that we are a charity. What we're saying is that, okay, we have this DOGFACE Labs, which is a commercial enterprise, and we're running over here and we provide Web3 services, and this is what we do. We build collections. But there's also an entity which is our charitable trust, and we try to keep it very, very clear, very distinct, because one world here is crypto, Web3 education, doing what we're doing with the collections, and then this is the charitable aspect here, okay? And, we're only donating 10%, so we're not an out-and-out charity, okay? But we plan to give 10% of a lot and then scale that up, okay, and turn that into a self-sustainable business. Well, you couldn't really call it a business, a self-sustainable charity and a non-profit through commercial endeavor. And also through donations, which we will donate from our commercial side, as well as we'll seek donations, funding elsewhere. So hopefully you understand that in depth now. Now, the mining farm at the retreat. Well, this will be co-located. Okay, so the mining farm will host Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Litecoin, and Cardano miners purchased through the sale of NFT projects and hosted on behalf of holders as a cooperative. This allows NFT owners to not only collect and showcase their digital art, but also earn passive income through mining of popular cryptocurrencies. Right? By bridging the gap between NFTs and mining, the farm is providing a one-of-a-kind opportunity for holders to maximize the value of their NFT investments, and then combining it into this retreat. And let's take it to the retreat, because you'll be able to come to this retreat, and I want you to actually get a sense of what it's going to be like when you turn up. You'll be able to go, you'll be able to view the miners, you'll be able to become educated, get training, learn how everything works. You'll, as a holder within this NFT community, you get access to all of the knowledge, the learning, the expertise. Everything there is open for you as a community member. Very, very cool, right? So, also at the retreat, which is going to have this hosting, we'll have the hardware and hosting, right? We'll have the mining farm will have hardware and hosting. So we have access to very, very affordable, I would call it wholesale pricing on our hardware, relative to what you can get it on the market, I guess, for the public. Yeah, it's certainly not retail. So we're getting wholesale pricing on our hardware and very, very cost effective hosting, which we will be able to provide. Okay, because what we're not only doing is, purchasing miners on behalf of the community, but we're also able to host miners and B2B, as well as partner projects that want to do things with us. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity there to form partnerships around mining hosting, of course, right? And then net metering. Net metering, let me just break this down. It's essentially selling additional power, because we're doing all of this in a sustainable manner. That is the whole point of it. We'll be using flare gas, solar, hydropower, these sorts of things. Now, the conference center is going to be crazy. Like, it's going to be like very much a state of the art, with offices, the headquarters, conference center, as in like somewhere we can deliver presentations ourselves and guests, get guest speakers in, and do education. So, like a lecture theatre as well, I guess it would also work as, and then host events, where people could book in, and it's going to be a multi-purpose facility. But we'll have a lot of amenities at the headquarters, obviously, for the team. So our CEO and our American-based team will be there. They'll be in the offices working, and we will have all of the state-of-the-art technology as well as hardware that will keep our lab, which is DOGFACE Labs, like right at the cutting edge of what's going on in the space. And we will also provide a shared space. Okay, so what this will be is for our community, our holders who turn up and want to participate in the retreat and in the space. We'll have hot desks and a space like a chill lounge, and a space where you can go hang out with other community members, chill on a beanbag, sit at a table, get Wi-Fi, have everything there where you can go on and just like grind it out, do what you want to do. Okay, and that will be available for people in the community. Conference rooms, just said that, but you understand, I'm not going to read that one word for word, because I have been going quite in depth into that. So now, this is like, I would call it almost like a mixed use commercial, like as you can see here, mixed use commercial as well as charity/charity space where we run charitable activities and we run the veteran-based activities. Now, the veteran-based activities are going to be like our therapy center, which will be led by Michael, a space traveler within our community, who will really oversee the setting up of this. And he's a doctor, and he's currently looking after a military base and managing the mental well-being of people in his base. So he will guide this, right? But we're going to get professionals in who can provide therapy for PTSD and other ailments. We also will have physical therapy, and we'll set this up as a professional facility. So there's going to be a lot involved in that. Obviously, needing the facilities, the space, as well as getting funding for staff, and actually getting the correct accreditations to be able to do it. Of course, we're not going to cowboy it. We will get it set up correctly so that we can assist in that area and do what we have to do. Okay. Housing. Now, big part of the purpose of what we're doing is the housing. So, barracks accommodation, the DOGFACE Retreat accommodation barracks, where comfort and community come together to create a unique and unforgettable experience. Our barracks will offer a range of accommodation options to suit the needs of NFT community members and guests, including individual rooms, shared rooms, and communal spaces. So, what I envisage, so understanding, like, I've had a period where I was without accommodation and living in my car. Yeah, that was a period of time where I was homeless. And what it what happened to me at that time was my Carter NCO found out that I was in that situation. He said, "Oh man, why don't you just like crash here in the army office?" And it was literally like an office where we used to run our briefs, like a little 40 person little lecture room. And I would then just set up my sleeping mat, my sleeping bag, mm, my gear bag as a pillow, and I would sleep there. And and then it was like I was in there doing my thing, getting myself back on my feet. And the point is, like, you don't need a super huge amount to make some like quite a life changing situation, right? We can assume, and this goes hand in hand with the therapy, that we're going to have people who are recovering from addictions, things of this nature, but we'll have accommodation all the way from, okay, let's have individual accommodation, luxury accommodation, these domes. Setting it up, I want to set it, get dome homes, self-sustainable, Gucci ones, really, really nice ones where people come in like Airbnb style, and utilize that. So that will be available, for people on a booking system if you're a holder, but then also to the public who will be able to book it, which will create a revenue stream. And then we'll have accommodation available, different types. So barracks accommodation essentially means like shared rooms. Already just thinking about health and safety. We're going to have to be, very careful about how we cohabitate people in shared spaces around mental health, safety. There will be plenty of things that we'll take into consideration, right, when we're doing this. But tiny homes is something that I'm looking at, because what you'll get to know about me is what I tend to do is I'll study a topic, go on a huge deep dive on it, learn a lot about it, kind of a Tim Ferriss approach where, you can spend 20 to 100 hours going real deep dive on something and learn a lot about it and become fairly knowledgeable on something, you know. So that's like me on tiny homes, like binge, 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 watching dozens and dozens and dozens of tiny home activities, then going and viewing them, then going through the whole tiny home purchasing process, like all the way to the end, but then didn't end up buying it. But that research and detail of like knowing what they're about and all, and obviously not having lived in one, but understanding what goes on. Tiny homes will be huge. Okay, we want to have a massive piece of land. We want to set up spaces where we can put tiny homes, get people living, healing, give them their dignity, whilst upskilling, providing a future. Okay, we don't want to create a situation where we're creating dependency. We want to empower people, right? Okay, and then of course at the Dogface Retreat was going to be like recreation. That's going to be like a massive, massive part of it. And I want you to envisage coming to a place, guys, where you know it is going to be like a haven. Like you'll turn up. It's going to be there's going to be a combination of like a ranch style guest house, but also there'll be some like natural style buildings. Like I envisage that we'd definitely be able to build an earthship. I think we will definitely have tiny home accommodation. I think we could have cabin homes. I think we could build whatever the fuck we want on this property, and as long as it's to code and it's safe and it's compliant and we're in compliance with the local jurisdiction, beautiful. Hunting, fishing, camping goes without saying. We'll be doing all of that cool stuff. Tactical training. Now, we definitely want to have a pistol range. We want to have a target shooting range, like a moving range, so we can all be like doing our tactical shooting. We're going to have a normal rifle range, and then we'll also have like a long range sniper range, like out to, I don't know, a couple of miles. Couple of miles. Yeah, that's crazy distance, but I think, a long distance shooting range, like 1 to 2 miles or something like that, so people can get really good at shooting at that range. Mm. We will have our own gymnasium where people can go and lift. That will have like hammer strength equipment. That's definitely the best way to train as far as strength training, hammer strength, free weights, dumbbells, kettlebells. Um, we'll have bands and yoga, Pilates for Vince. We'll have martial arts, of course, as well, right? So we'll have jiu-jitsu training, we'll have MMA training, we will have traditional martial arts like taekwondo. We will have it will be a place where you can go and be a fucking Spartan warrior, right? Whilst becoming a Web3 fucking beast, savage, a Web3 savage who is like got the physical, mental will of a fucking Shaolin monk, turning up every day, following your, throwing some tin around, lifting some weights, getting your fucking ass beat in the gym, and sharpening your tools in the martial arts arena, as well as, building yourself up. So it's going to be an awesome place. And then what we'll also do is we'll, become one with the fucking land, and we'll have cattle, animals. We will humanely kill the beasts, eat them, smoke them, cook them. We'll grow organic vegetables. It's going to be, a beautiful thing. This retreat, anything you can imagine that is like a really smart idea from an environmental, permaculture, utilizing of nature, utilizing of energy, sun, wind, hydro, water, flare gas, anything that involves engineering, tunneling, bridging, bunkers, nuclear shelter, fucking everything. Okay, everything you can imagine at this retreat that is going to be the coolest, dopest shit that dudes can get together and actually build will be happening. Tree houses, fucking. We'll build our own homage to the pyramids. Fuck it, we'll do a reconstruction of the pyramids. There you go. Okay, so a sundial. I'm just taking the piss, you guys, but you know what I'm saying. We will get extremely creative, and the beautiful thing is, this is owned by the Dogface DAO. When I die, when fucking it will get passed on. It will be a place where people can go. It will be set up in a way that is sustainable, and it will just continue to help more and more and more and more, which is why we need a massive, huge ranch area, fucking huge piece of land, because we want to be able to help thousands of people, thousands, thousands of veterans. Okay, that is today's video. The DOGFACE retreat. Get fired up. It's coming. It's going to happen. We're actually oh so close. We're into our third collection. If you come back later, it is amazing. Miners online, shit's happening, crypto's dropping, satoshis are stacking, and veterans, supporters, first responders, and their supporters are winning. Boom, baby. Let's go.